Hey, and welcome back at cloudbackupping.com to another video in this Acronis Online Backup video series. So now we're going to talk about how to back up your data with Acronis TrueImage Online and whether everything works flawlessly, and if I would recommend using that service for your private data. You start with logging in to the client with your email address and the password sent by Acronis, and you can even set up a proxy for enhanced security and privacy, but we're not going to do that in this video. So we're going to log in, and Acronis connects your account to their servers, and then we can start the backup directly after that. And the first thing we're going to do is select our machine that we want to back up and give it a name. I really recommend giving a name that you can identify easily. So Acronis gives you 5 PCs to back up, and you want to give them unique names to be able to identify them. And you can use a private encryption key, which I would highly recommend for additional protection and security. But you shall never forget that private encryption key, because if you forget it, you're never going to be able to recover your data after a system crash, and that would be a shame. Okay, click on register, and this was the first easy step of this wizard. I pretty much like that wizard, and there's not much margin for error here. So if you're an inexperienced user, you're going to pretty much like that, because it's a hassle-free setup process. You're not going to have any problems with that, I guarantee you. And in the second step, we can actually choose what kind of data we want to back up, and we can schedule our backup. So let's have a look into that one. Okay, currently the documents folder is selected. However, we want to back up our test folder, and you can choose a folder at the top left that you want to back up, or you can rely on the Windows 7 media categories at the bottom left and select those. But we're going to select our folder, so we're going to dig a little deeper into the file system. And here we have our test folder with roughly 1 GB in files. We're going to use this folder to test every online backup provider here on cloudbackupping.com to be able to compare especially backup speed, and this is what we're going to test in this video as well. You can even exclude files and file endings. This is very useful if you, for example, want to exclude all the video files if you don't want to back up those, or if you want to exclude like documents or whatever. So here you can specify that as well. Next, we want to schedule our backup, and well, unfortunately, Acronis TrueImage Online is not a scheduling specialist, but I mean, you have the basic functionality here. You can choose the frequency, whether you want to back up daily, monthly, or weekly. And you can choose a starting time. So standard is 12 p.m. And or you can choose whether you want to back up manually and don't want to use the scheduler. However, I can't recommend that, because if you forget to back up your data, I mean, then everything could be lost when your system crashes. So there isn't a continuous backup. So Acronis TrueImage is not monitoring your files of changes so that it backs up automatically whenever a file changes. So you always have to either press a backup now button or wait for the scheduler to kick in. But we're going to click now on the backup now button to see how long the initial backup is going to take. And of course, the initial backup always takes longer than the incremental backup. So with the incremental backup, Acronis only backs up the files that have actually changed, and thus the backup is going to be a lot faster than the initial backup. So I pause the video here, and we'll see how fast Acronis really backs up my 1 GB in files, so that you can compare how long this would take with your amount of files. Okay, we're back right now, and everything has been backed up correctly. And Acronis started actually pretty fast, but then the backup speed plummeted for some reason. So it took longer than I expected. I actually thought at the beginning that we might hit a record here with a backup speed, but then it was so slow that we only finished the backup within 3 hours and 45 minutes. So you can really expect that if you have gigabytes and gigabytes of data that you're going to take weeks to back up all the important data. But this is actually not the important part. The most important part is whether you're going to be able to restore your data after a crash. And we're going to test that in the next video. We're going to test whether Acronis can actually restore our backed up data correctly and fast. So if you like this video, please give it your like on YouTube and recommend it to your friends and family. And if you have a question, please do leave a comment and I'll be more than glad to get back to you. See you in the next video. Bye bye.